Hello everyone, Yevi here from the Inkwell, bringing you another video. Today, it's an ink review of Organics Studio Alanine Aqua Shimmer. The ink was provided to me courtesy of Ron over at Pen Chalet. Also, I'm not going to be in the video other than my hands. I was roughhousing with those two earlier this week, and I don't know which one it was, but one of them stepped on my face, and now I've got a black eye. So there's that. Although, I've also been told that having animals on your YouTube channel can really boost ratings, so we're going to go ahead and put that little experiment to the test. Let's head over to the other camera angle, though, and start taking a look at this ink. So here we have our Organics Studio Alanine Aqua Shimmer writing sample on Rhodia dot pad paper, the typical 80 GSM variety. So as you can see, the ink comes in these 55 ml plastic bottles, and as I'm rotating the bottle, you can see where some of the particles are mixed in, but a lot of them are sitting there in that bottom corner, and I have to shake it up to actually get these particles mixed in. Now, the good thing about this ink, though, even though I shook it like that, there weren't a lot of bubbles that formed at the top. Quick sidebar, though, because I want to talk to you about the pen really quick. I used a Red Dragon Penco Nymph with a Regalia Writing Labs Epilogue nib. So as you can see, it's a triple stack nib where the normal side is an extra fine, and if you flip it over and write with it upside down, you get a double to triple broad. Very interesting pen and very fun to write reviews with. It was actually the triple broad side that I did the pen portion of the color test with, as you can see here on the left-hand side. Also, look at the close-ups in the bottom right-hand corner because you really get to see the particles like on the swab and the drip. I mean, the video does a really good job of showing off the color of the ink, but it really takes those pictures for you to see the shimmer that really makes this ink stand out. Now, let's go ahead and pan down to the writing portion of this review. Now, you could tell with this pen, when I was writing with it as an extra fine, the lines are nice and tight. There doesn't seem to be any feathering. And I was figuring, okay, this is going to be a slightly dry writing experience for the whole thing. But I was wrong. When I flipped over the pen and wrote with it on the double broad / triple broad side, it took almost 20 seconds to dry compared to 1 second with the extra fine. I don't know about you, but that completely caught me off guard. I mean, these particles are having to go through the same feed. So I figured it would have the same amount of clogging regardless of the nib it was going through. And looking at the bottom of the page, you can tell this is a very well-behaved and very well-flowing ink. This was actually written after it had just sat uncapped in the pen for about 2.5 hours because I was doing a whole bunch of stuff here around the apartment. And I picked the pen up and started writing with it and didn't have any trouble. Look at where I've got like the pen name, the nib name, dry time, and the color. Those are extra fine lines, and there's no skipping. There's no issue with the line at all. It flowed very smoothly, and part of that could be the feed because Ralph does put very, very free-flowing ebonite feeds in all of his pens, but I really think that has to do more with the ink. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the color, because at the bottom there, you can see where I say it's a very soft blue with a heavy teal finish. I think looking back over the video, I kind of want to change that feeling. Let's go ahead and put the Organic Studio Alanine Aqua Shimmer back up there. Thank you, past me. Now, let's go ahead and also put up Stipula Azzurro. And then let's go ahead and put up Diatramentis Sky Blue. Waiting on past me. There we go. Now, why did I use these? When I lift the other two samples, look at the smears on the dry time. It's not exact, but it's close enough to make me feel that it's close. Now, this was actually the swatch that made me rethink how I felt about this ink. This is a KWZ turquoise is what I would consider more of a blue. Not a blue-black, but a good solid blue. And then I was looking through the coloring and I saw Robert Oster turquoise. Now, look at those two different takes on turquoise, which is why I take the KWZ one off. That is what changed my mind on what Alanine Aqua Shimmer really is. because then we also go ahead and bring up the rather stubborn Robert Oster Morning Mist, which looks really close to Robert Oster Turquoise. And you can kind of see some of the finishing elements of the Organic Studio Alanine Aqua Shimmer has that remnants of a turquoise. I didn't expect it at first, but looking at the playback of the video, I started to see that. And so if I had to change my feeling, I would say it's a very soft blue with a true turquoise finish. Now, I want to show you one last thing here. So you saw the pictures earlier of the shimmer, and I wanted to actually show it to you on camera. And you can see here, once I quit shaking a little, that there is a lot of particle density in this ink. Now, that drip was a rather thick one, but even on the swab, minus the dog fur, joys of living with a lab, you can see that there are a fairly good amount of shimmer particles in this ink. And even with that amount of shimmer, there's still a nice, crisp line to this ink. I couldn't ask for better. Is it a professional ink? No. Is it a good journal ink? Yes. But how does it hold up to water? For that, welcome to the kitchen sink. So we've got 3 inks here. We've got the Alanine Aqua Shimmer, KWZ Walkover Fistula, and the typical gel insert that comes with a Retro 51 Tornado. Now, all of these inks were written 2 days ago before we did the 2 spills and the splash. The first spill is coffee that was brewed right before I gave the thumbs up. Here it comes. As you can see, the Organic Studio just gives up. The KWZ tries to hold strong, and the Retro 51 refill, it's doing what a gel refill should do. It's holding to the paper. Now, let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit and bring in some water in a red Star Trek cup from ThinkGeek. Thumbs up. Now that we've washed away the coffee grounds, you can see some of the thicker parts of the Organic Studio are still there, as are the majority of the KWZ and the Retro 51. Actually, the Retro 51 ink is pretty much completely there. Now for this, though, we're bringing in the big guns. I'm going to go ahead and use the sprayer hose on the kitchen sink to try to finish off the ink here. Here we go. Already you can tell anything that's going to happen to the KWZ ink and anything that's going to happen to the Retro 51 ink, it's done. Those 2 inks have already figured out what they're going to do to the water, and they're staying. The Organic Studio, we had a little bit more loss here on this 3rd and final test. You can actually see now the thicker parts are barely visible, whereas you're still able to recover what you wrote with KWZ and with the Retro 51. So, like I was saying earlier, great journal ink, just keep it away from anything having to do with liquid. So there you have my review of Organic Studio's Alanine Aqua Shimmer. If you want to add this tealish turquoise-ish blue ink to your collection, head on over to penchalet.com, add it to your cart, where you can pick it up right now for about $14 a bottle. Also, while you're there, click on the radio podcast link at the top of the page and enter Inktwell in the How You Heard About Us section to unlock a site-wide coupon. You can find me on the internet, on Twitter and Instagram at The Inktwell. You can also find me at theinktwell.com. Thank you guys for watching this video. See you next time.